Lots of protests that are gaining steam with Tesla. All right. All of these liberals, they running outside of the Tesla dealerships and they're protesting. Check it out.
Protesters continue to rally outside of Tesla showrooms all across the country and also here at home amid heightened criticism over Elon Musk's role with Doge. And now some Tesla owners in one Venice neighborhood say they woke up to find concerning letters in their mailboxes.
Yeah, Rachel Menitoff is live in Venice tonight, where she spoke with one of those Tesla owners who received a letter. Rachel.
Rick, Karine, there are at least 2 people here on Glendon Avenue who got one of these handwritten letters telling them to get rid of their Teslas. One of the recipients tells me she is offended by this letter. She feels violated. As it happens, she says she is not a fan of Elon Musk, but she bought her Tesla back in 2019. It's paid off, and it's not as though she can get rid of it entirely. We do have video of the letter that Abby Berman received in her mailbox over the weekend. It's written by a woman named Rebecca, and it says, quote, "Dear neighbor, won't you please consider getting rid of your Tesla vehicle? The message you are sending at this point is, quote, I am a Nazi too." And the return address, as it happens, is a fake one.
I'm not an Elon fan. I'm not a Trump fan. I'm disgusted by the state of the world and, what's going on. It keeps me up at night. But there's better ways to handle it than sending a, very offensive letter. Come talk to me. Let's figure out other ways of, dealing with it.
White people, can I give y'all a piece of advice? Almost did a review video yesterday of a white woman that is on TikTok, social media, being an apologist. Black people, it's not my fault, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then I see white people always wanting to have a conversation. Man, listen, bro. If y'all keep getting bullied and giving into the pressure, if you don't stand on whatever it is that you stand on, the nerve of you. But y'all don't have nothing else better to do than to go by and drive by people's addresses, write them down, and then mail fake letters over to their homes and their apartments, asking them why did they buy the cars that they buy? First of all, I thought that all of y'all were EV enthusiasts. I thought that y'all was tree huggers. I thought that y'all really wanted to embrace the Green New Deal from the Biden administration. I thought that y'all loved protecting in the environment and wanted to make sure that we got rid of fossil fuels and our dependency on other countries and subsidizing what it is that they're doing from a profitability perspective and make sure that we're not fracking and no more fracking in Pennsylvania. I thought that y'all were tree huggers. I thought that y'all wanted to make sure that our environments were cleaner and our air to breathe and make sure that we don't breed any food for human consumption because cows fart and that's the methane gas that goes into the air. I thought that y'all didn't want to do none of that. Y'all don't have nothing better to do. You bored, boy. You ain't got nothing better to do with your life than to drive around and write handwritten letters. You know how much effort it takes to do a handwritten letter? I don't even know how long ago I done wrote a handwritten letter. Bruh. You ain't got nothing better to do. Nothing better to do? Y'all standing out there protesting. This is why y'all keep getting fired. This is why you ain't got no job. This is why they call Americans lazy, because you are standing outside of a Tesla dealership and it's always white people, always paid actors, always a bunch of y'all that truly want to embrace your femininity and your masculinity and my daughter is gay and I can't believe that they're firing us from the Department of Government Efficiency, and I really thought and I believed in what I was doing with my geology degree and I studied rocks and I really wanted to help the people over there in Africa. You ain't got nothing better to do. You see they're not doing that over in the hood. We park our Cybertrucks and our Teslas on the lawn. Don't even think twice about it. They not driving through and asking y'all for nothing. That's because they know that they can bully y'all. That's because they know that they can bully y'all. Boy, if you don't buy what you want to buy, and it's funny because I never see them asking people not to buy foreign cars that are benefiting off of American consumers and take advantage of our economy, but they want to go against the anti-American thing because we hate Trump. I can't, please get rid of your Tesla vehicle. Man, I will run you over. I will run you over. See, they do that with y'all because they know that y'all easy to bully. They know that y'all easy to bully. I can't wait to see a protest and a rally outside of a Tesla network over in I'm pulling right over. I'm going to pull my camera out. I'm going to have my camera on me, and I'm going to make $1 million off of that vehicle because I'm going to get out the car. I dare you to throw some paint on my car. I dare you. I triple dog dare you to throw some paint on my car. Throw a bead, throw a rock, throw one thing at my car. Keep on being apologetic to these people, these terrorists, these anarchists. Do it. I dare you, Susan. And it just so happened to be the girl's name is Rebecca.
These ominous and disturbing letters coincide with protests against Elon Musk and, by extension, one of his most well-known companies, Tesla. Here's a look at a demonstration today in Culver City where activists are urging people to boycott the EV car company. They're protesting his wide-scale government cuts and his role within President Trump's White House. But they made clear today they do not.
I'm about to order another Tesla today. I, honest to God, think I am about to order another Tesla today just because. I might even do a giveaway, a Tesla giveaway to a bag chaser or something. I might do a giveaway just because. Just because. What?
Not condone intimidation tactics or threats toward current Tesla owners.
Look. Look at him. Y'all have lost the country. We gonna save y'all from yourselves though. Anyways, in addition to that, foolishness, these people ain't got nothing better to do. I know when you go back off of your life and you think about it and you say, man, what was my life like? And you were sitting out there protesting over some dumb junk. And you could have been doing something else. You could have been getting some box. You could have been watching TV. You could have been out partying. You could have been out for St. Patrick's Day yesterday. But you was over here mailing letters to people that don't care nothing about you.
This morning, President Trump gearing up for today's high-stakes call with Russia's President Putin. Trump striking a confident tone yesterday.
We're going to see if we can work a peace agreement, a ceasefire and peace, and I think we'll be able to do it.
Putin says he supports the idea of a ceasefire, but his conditions have included guarantees Ukraine will disarm and not join an alliance, which would leave Ukraine vulnerable, Kyiv says. And the White House is talking one-on-one with Russia about Ukrainian territory and assets. Zelensky last night accusing Putin of prolonging the war to gain more concessions. Saying for a week now, Putin has been unable to muster a simple yes. Just this week in Kursk, Russia
can we get
seized...
Zelensky to shut up for 5 seconds? If he was able to get anything done and he was able to get a ceasefire from the beginning, we wouldn't need Trump inside of the White House in the United States of America. We need Zelensky to get off social media for 5 seconds. Just be quiet. That's all we want. Trump is going to make the phone call today. He's scheduled to talk to Putin. And hopefully we can get some kind of framework of a ceasefire so we can get a longer term deal. The last thing we need is Zelensky, a dancer. We don't need him doing anything else except for shutting up. Just shut up. It's the reason you got kicked out of the Oval Office in the first. Somebody take his microphone and take his camera away from him. Just shut up for 5 seconds and let us handle this.
Back land. And this morning, for the first time, NBC News reached scarred Russian territory once held by Ukraine. Thousands died on both sides, Ukraine losing a valuable bargaining chip. This remains of an American Humvee is as far as the Ukrainians got. For 7 months, they held hundreds of miles of territory in that direction. It was all for nothing. Vladimir, who didn't want us to use his last name, is a Russian military volunteer. Ukrainians have destroyed Russian villages. Russians have destroyed many Ukrainian villages. Do you think there should be a ceasefire now? Every war is terrible, he says. We don't need this. The US doesn't need it. Ukraine doesn't need it. Despite that sentiment, there are so many challenges ahead. One example, talk that the Zaporizhia nuclear plant that is Ukrainian could stay in Russian hands. That would be complex and deeply, deeply controversial.
Hopefully, Trump can get this framework done. I think that he's able to secure this ceasefire and then ultimately a peace deal that he will be heralded as quite possibly one of the greatest presidents of all time, even while he's still president of the United States of America. And then last but not least, I've been monitoring this story. I haven't talked about it here on the Millionaire Morning Show, but I've been monitoring this story of this young woman who she's a college woman, and I guess she went over to the Dominican Republic or something like that. But long story short, she was declared missing, and now her family is basically, after this long manhunt of trying to find out exactly how she went missing, her family is basically trying to get Dominican authorities to declare her deceased. Check it out.
The latest on the American college student who vanished on spring break. Her parents now asking Dominican police to declare her deceased, as lawyers for the last person to hear demand to see her demand he be released. Ariel Reshev is in the Dominican Republic. Good morning, Ariel.
Good morning to you, George. Just a heartbreaking development overnight in this case. The family of Sadiksha Kananki acknowledging that she likely drowned, hoping to put an end to this painful chapter. And now the attorneys for Joshua Reeby have filed a motion in local court here trying to get him released so he can go back home.
This morning, the family of college student Sadiksha Kananki, who vanished while on spring break in the Dominican Republic, acknowledging they believe she died. ABC News obtaining this formal written request to the Dominican police. The family asking for a legal declaration of death. Kananki's parents also stating they trust the authorities' investigation. The letter saying the Kanankis believe the last person who saw their daughter has cooperated with the investigation and that there is no evidence of foul play. Authorities say they believe Joshua Reeby was with Kananki before she vanished. Officials have long said she likely drowned. Reeby's attorneys demanding authorities in the Dominican Republic release the 22-year-old, who they say is being held illegally and surveilled in his hotel during the investigation. His team filing a motion urging a judge to order officials to return his passport and allow him to go back to the U.S. Overnight, community members of Reeby's hometown in Iowa saying Josh and his family are well loved and he exemplifies compassion, respect, and integrity.
Now, here in the Dominican Republic, officials are not allowed to detain anyone without charges for more than 48 hours. Reeby's attorneys say that time is up. A judge could make a decision about his release today.
I don't have an opinion on this situation one way or another. What I will say is this: rules are in place to protect you. Rules are in place to protect you, and that's not just going overseas. That's not just going to the Dominican Republic. That's anywhere. Anywhere. That's in your home city. That's traveling to the United States of America. Ladies, stop stepping outside of a man's coverage, number one. Number two, make sure that you are very vigilant. When I had that conversation a couple weeks ago on my platform where I was saying that I am absolutely, positively protective, and I make sure that my daughter operates under my rules, it is for her protection, not my own protection. It is not because I am demanding and all of this other type of stuff. The worst thing that you can do is go off on spring break thinking that you're going to have fun, and then you never come back, and then you got to try to figure it out without a body about what happened to her. And there's no clue whatsoever. She could have drowned. She could be out here getting trafficked. Something could have happened to her. Nobody knows. Nobody knows whatsoever. They have no clue how this woman just vanished. Oh, she just randomly drowned. Be careful, y'all. Be careful, y'all.